Hi, hello everyone. So today I will show you how to configure Webasto Unite. So at first, all of this configuration that I will show you today, it will be possible to do that also via the Webasto setup app or Webasto charger setup app. You can just download it from the Apple Store or the Play Store. So I'll share my screen and then I can show you how to do also another type of configuration. So via the integrated configuration front end. So if you want to configure the Webasto Unite with your laptop and do not want to use the setup app, you can then connect to the Wi-Fi hotspot. It will be here shown, the Unite and also the serial number. Just connect to it. The password and the credentials you can find in the manual. So after connecting to the hotspot, you can type here this IP address, and then you'll be directed to the login from the integrated configuration front end. If you connect your Webasto Unite directly to a router and your laptop is connected to the router, you can type here directly the IP address which was assigned to the charger via the router. So you have just to look in your router what IP address does my charger has, so the Webasto Unite, and type it here. But if you are logging in via the local Wi-Fi hotspot, you just have to type always this IP address here. So the credentials you find also in the configuration front end. Sorry, in the manual. I'll just copy here the password that I have, and then we can log in. So you put always admin and then the password that you find in the manual. After you logged in, you'll see this main page with some details of the wall box. Then we have general settings. Here you can see settings for the LED dimming function. So you can choose here if you want to dim the LM or if not, or if the dimming should be time-based. You can also choose to deactivate at all the LEDs, so putting in off. Then we have here the installation settings, so earthing system TN or TT. So this is the main ones used for Europe. In Norway, for example, we have IT grid. There we would choose the IT or split phase one. Current limiter, here we have to put one phase or three phase. So this is why sometimes when you start the charger and this configuration is not right, it will blink red. So after adjusting it, also again, you can adjust all these parameters via the setup app. So after adjusting it to the right phase amount, then it will blink blue. Here you can put the current limit from the installation that you have. So 16 amps, 32 amps, depending on the installation you have. We have also unbalanced load detection. If we activate it, you can choose. So normally in Germany and in Austria and in the Switzerland, we have some regulation for unbalanced load. That means if the car is charging with just one phase, then we have a limitation of until 16 amps. And if we load with the three phases, then we can go up to 32 amps. This is just for the countries that I mentioned. Then here we can enable or disable the external input as well. It is described in the manual. So we can also choose to lock a cable permanently. So if you don't want to put always the cable in and out, you can also lock it permanently here. Let's see where we were. Okay, then we have here some configurations also for the power optimizer. At the moment, we do not support the peak and the tick one, so always leave in normal. And here, the power optimizer is similar to what we call load management as standalone, so one wall box and one external meter from Clever. And here we would choose the limitation in amperes that we have at where the smart meter is connected. Here we can choose also the location, indoor or outdoor. This is just a parameter that's then also a configuration key that can be seen in the backend later. Here we have also load shedding, which is what we also called as dry contact. So when the dry contact is activated, we can say that the wallbox reduces its current to a certain limit that's used normally for electricity companies. So here we have the OCPP settings. Here is the endpoint from the backend, the charge point ID, some other functionalities. For example, if we want free charging or not, that means if this is true, then we don't have any authorization. If free charging mode is false, then we need authorization from the backend. Here we have the OCPP key also and some other parameters. If we are not using the backend and we want a local authorization, this would be the standalone mode, but we have first to disable the OCPP settings in order to use it in standalone mode, so offline mode. That would be, for example, the use case for a garage that doesn't have internet connection and you need to authenticate the wallbox locally without having to have a backend. So to use this offline mode or standalone mode, we would disable the OCPP setting, so no backend at all. I would save it then. And then when we go to standalone mode, then I can choose. I can have RFID local lists, and then I can add all the RFID tags that I want to have it registered. So just type in the tags that you have. I can also choose between accept all RFIDs. That means any RFID tag that I would put, it would start a charging session. Or I can also put in auto start, that is just plug and play, which means that when you plug the connector in your car, it will just start charging without any authorizations. So I would activate again here and save. Under network interfaces, here we can see the MAC address, for example, from our LAN setting. When you connect the charger to a router, it always leaves it to the DHCP client. We do also have static IP configuration, but that's not interesting when you use a router. So we do have also the Wi-Fi configuration here. So here you just type the SSID from the Wi-Fi network to where it should be connected to get internet access. So the Wi-Fi name from the from your router, internet router, and also the password from it. The rest you can leave it as it is and then save it. Here we do also have the Wi-Fi hotspot settings, which are the Wi-Fi hotspot is this one where we are connected to at the moment. So we do not recommend turning it off because the hotspot is used for configuration purposes. If you turn it off, then the configuration via the setup app will not work. Okay. So let's go to load management. So here we can activate some functionalities. If we choose Modbus TCP and save it, then we will be activating the connection to an external energy management system. The list of compatible energy management systems you can find in our webpage. Exactly. So all the configuration for this functionality should be done then directly in the energy management system. So save current, the IP address from the root, from the wall box. We recommend also that you assign, in this use case, static IPs to the chargers that can be done via the internet router. So Modbus TCP is for connecting to external energy management systems. But the Webasto Unite also have an included integrated master-slave dynamic load management where you don't need any external devices. You can connect up to 32 wall boxes together. So here we choose if it is a slave wall box, so a satellite, or if it is a master wall box, also called hub. So if it is a slave wall box, you don't have to configure nothing more, just save it. If it is the master wall box or the hub, so this is the charger that will control all of the other wall boxes. Here we type in the main circuit breaker current. So let's say 63. And here the total current limit per phase for the DLM. So this is the maximum current of all the wall boxes together. Let's say also 63. Then I have to choose here. If I choose the static load management, it means I'm not taking into consideration other loads. So I don't need an external meter. I would just make sure that all wall boxes together do not go over 63 amps. Then we have some configuration here. So equally shared, it means we would divide the available load between all the wall boxes depending how many cars are connected. And first in, first out, we would give preference to the order of what the car came in. In the supply type, we can also choose also MID. That means we would have an external meter. And when we choose here MID, then this is the dynamic load management functionality, which means we take also consideration of external loads. And the compatible meters you can find also in our webpage. So when we save this, so it is saved. So the dynamic load management functionality with a maximum of 63 amps. So if all of the wall boxes are connected to the same internet router or DHCP switch, you just click then upgrade DLM group. That should be done in the master wall box. And then the charger will find automatically all of other slave wall boxes that are in the same network. So this is why you should connect via LAN always. The the chargers to the internet router or DHCP switch. And then in the master wallbox, you just click on upgrade DLM group. And then here it will show you how many wallboxes were found. And then here you can choose a specific wallbox and see what this wallbox is doing at the moment. So here we can download logs. So if we have any trouble, we can just download them. We can make a firmware update here. We can download a file from the configuration that we have in this wallbox, and then we can also restore with the configuration file. We have some settings. We can here reset the charger. So hard reset, it stops whatever it is doing. And restart it. Soft, it means it will wait until it stops all the transactions that are going on, and after everything is stopped, then it will reset. Here we can do a factory reset, which means we will go to all the parameters from the factory setting. Here you can also choose between other languages.